Welcome back to the hottest marriage show in the world. It is I, John D, aka Too Much, and my wife, Kanika, aka
Do.
We are doing Too Much, the hottest marriage show in the world. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm doing well also. So what did you think about this morning?
I was really proud of Dallas. If y'all don't remember, or we might not have talked about, our biggest concern, it wasn't our biggest concern, but one of our concerns moving into the house is that the kids are on different floors. So Dae's on the second floor, Dallas is in the basement, and Dallas does not wake up easily. This joker got himself up this morning. I was worried.
I guess I wasn't worried because I'm gonna be up, but
yeah, but one of our things was we shouldn't have to come downstairs to wake you up.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'll be worried if we're like in October and I'm still doing it.
Oh, okay.
Maybe even September, but yeah.
I was surprised you had to wake up Dae though.
That I was also, but it was cool. Got him ready to go to school. Dallas has grown so much in comparison to Dae.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, they're really growing. What do you think we want from them this year versus their previous years?
I want them to just enjoy this year. Last year was kind of rough for Dae starting out, to the point where like our kids used to really like school, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm not really interested in this mess right here. If I could do without it, I would do without it." And I just hope that she comes into the year, feels more comfortable, and they always do well in school. So I don't ever worry about that. I hope that Dallas discovers more of himself this year.
For sure. Thinking back when you were in 8th and 10th grade, how much different are they in comparison to where you were?
Oh, shoot. They're way different. Like, I was good in school. My behavior isn't like theirs was. I mean, I wasn't a bad kid, but I definitely had my hand in more stuff than I needed to be in. By the time I was in the 10th grade, me and my friends were trying to drive places and be where the boys were. And I'm so glad that Dae isn't there yet.
Yeah. I can definitely understand that. In 8th grade, I was just trying to play basketball. 10th grade, I was playing basketball and trying to kiss everybody in the school building.
You are ignorant. You was trying to kiss everybody.
Yeah, by that time I had sex with 2 people, and sex was way more difficult. But when playing basketball, when you listening to the older kid, the seniors and juniors, and you hear them talking, and I'm like looking back, like they didn't know nothing either, but you felt like they knew everything.
Yeah. And
it was so crazy that none of us knew anything.
Not at all.
But what do you think is going to be the biggest transition for both of them? Because this will be the last year they'll be in separate schools, so
yeah,
they'll be able to build a relationship. But what do you think it'll be the task we need to do as parents?
I don't know. What do you think?
I think that we just need to be proactive. Like when I look back at this period, my parents were not involved in my life, like wonder on my day to day. So that would allow me to find things that I probably shouldn't have found. And I just feel like just making sure that, because it's easy to forget about them, because they will disappear and they only come around because they want to, but we don't go looking for them.
No, we don't.
And I just feel like as we get older, we got to make sure that we're still making the effort to not letting them disappear. Even though we let them disappear still.
We definitely, we do.
Yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed this morning. It made me feel like they wanted to, they were talking to each other walking to the bus stop.
Yeah.
I feel like the relationship has changed. And I know that you and your brothers are 5 years apart, and they're like 2 years apart, less than 2 years. What do you think? I guess the reason why I'm asking is because I just want to make sure that I want to create the idea of them when they become older, that they have this relationship like they're the best friends.
Yeah, well, me and my brothers and I, we were like 5 years apart, but my younger brother, he and I had a closer like love relationship. My older brother, he probably was annoyed by me at some point, but when I turned 18, it was like a switch went off and he was like a friend. But Kyle was always like my little dude. But we didn't hang out, but it was just a different feel between he and I versus me and Kari. But yeah, Dae and Dallas, the thing about them was they were best friends until they got to 5th grade, I think. And then they were rocky all the way up until Darius showed up. And then it was like this thing Dae used to do. Dae used to, like, she was really, really dismissive of Dallas. And when Darius showed up, for some reason, it switched. And I was worried when he left that it would go back. But it hasn't really. Like, Dae has always had a little stern voice when she tried to get you in order. And she kind of goes overboard sometimes with not taking jokes or whatever. But they've gotten along really well. Like, they've kept it up. And then now, riding the same bus, it's like easing them into the idea of being in the same environment again.
For sure. Those of you that don't know, Darius is my nephew. He stayed with us a little bit in this last school year. And they had this relationship that was definitely different and complicated, but my Dae's perspective of her brother changed when he arrived. So it was like, we're going to be on the same team versus we're sibling rivals. Yeah. So I don't know if it continued. I definitely seen streaks in Dae where, but I think today made me feel like they could possibly create some type of relationship where it could like start to like really formulate.
Yeah.
Or develop.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. So as a parent, like when you look at the way that you were raised and your friends who have kids, what do you think worked for them? Like, I know that we like look for ways to improve as parents, but what do you think that maybe somebody else does in the household that we haven't tried or should try? The reason why I'm asking this is because I still look at fathers. I know fathers that are way better than me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like looking at, I could do this and I can do that, but sometimes I feel like I might have waited too long to like say, hey, this is what we're going to do versus, you know, like if I say something, I feel like I'm making them uncomfortable and I know I'm the parent, but it makes me feel like I'm pulling teeth. Like, so I don't know if I'm supposed to keep going, but I was wondering, what do you see in other households that you would like to put in our household? And I know we got the oldest.
I was going to say, when I'm thinking about our friend groups and their kids, our kids are the oldest. So I have 2 friends actually that I went to high school with, and their kids are way older, like college age. So, well, I guess that's not way older, but it's just different. Like, the household makeup was different. There wasn't anything that I would have pulled from those households necessarily, because they just didn't. It might not translate. The people that we are friends with as a family, their kids are so much younger than ours. Like, we have one that's the same age as Dallas, but like parenting teenagers is so different. I tell people, like, when you know, just as your child is growing, you're growing too. You don't know how to parent a 13-year-old until you really have a 13-year-old. You don't know how to parent a 15-year-old until you have a 15-year-old. Like, we are learning as we go along, and every kid is different. So I've never parented a 13-year-old Dallas before.
Yeah.
So I'm learning now, and it's helping me to get ready for 14-year-old Dallas. And so when I'm looking at this, I don't necessarily know. I think that the initial stuff we did in the beginning, like building trust and making them feel like they could talk to us and be silly and they could see us be silly, I think that set the foundation where it's not going to be a struggle right now. I mean, I feel like they're really good kids. So to look at what I've seen done versus what we're doing, I don't really have a blueprint for that.
So, well, maybe let's look at this, because I can definitely say that I've seen other households do different in this process. But growing up, school clothes and school shoes was important.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I think that watching how we provide for them is totally different from, I'm looking forward to like my clothes is being out. Like I'm looking to be fresh. I want somebody to see my shoes. I want somebody to see my outfit. They didn't care as much, even though they dresses really nice but she dresses nice every day. She has style, but it wasn't like I need to like get these expensive shoes or this clothing to be seen.
She wanted to wear a dress today, and when I took her out yesterday to go look for something, she didn't really find a lot of what she wants. She did find some dresses and stuff, and I was like, do you want another pair of shoes? Like, do you want? She was like, no, I'm all right. I'm fine with the ones I have. I'm like, okay. So today she wore a new skirt, but everything else was stuff that she had worn last year. But I think it's really just, Dallas is like, am I clean and am I comfortable? And Dae is like, just do I like it? It doesn't necessarily have to be new, but I definitely tried on all of my clothes after getting school clothes. And then I would lay out what I was going to wear the next day. And it was exciting. And they didn't care.
I just thought, this is what I thought though. Like Dallas and Dae not caring about those things, they're going to attract different type of friends. When you have kids who like know what they have on and they want to be seen, they're going to attract people that like what they have on. And that's a different type of student. When somebody says, oh, you got all the fresh stuff, like in their head, like you don't want to be around anybody who thinks you got the fresh stuff on. In my head, I feel like it's a distraction. It's like it's a dopamine. Like I'm getting compliments, and it's unnecessary compliments. It's just because you don't know what your parents did to get that money for you to look fresh. And the way that we grew up, it was like Nike, Reebok, team shirts, Guess, Nautica. But now it's like Gucci, Louis Vuitton. Like the stuff is so much more expensive.
Well, and on the other end, like with girls, it's not necessarily having to have the name brand. It's like sometimes I look at these shorts these girls are wearing, and I know how old I am. But it's like there was a girl yesterday, she was wearing a bustier. A corset. Sorry, she was wearing a corset and some with a tank and some booty shorts. And I was like, okay, so, and they were around Dae's age. I remember.
How do you know she was around Dae's age?
Because they looked really young in the face. And then I remember dropping Dae off at her kickstart last week or the week before, and the girls going in.
What is a kickstart?
That's like their orientation at the start of the year. So when I was seeing the girls going in and out, and it's like, it's not like it looked like expensive clothes. It just looked like skimpy clothes. Like I know we used to wear tennis skirts. That's what they're doing right now. They're wearing like these plaid short skirts or whatever. But
so it wasn't skimpy when you were wearing it?
I didn't wear tennis skirts because
we're talking about
what I'm saying.
Periods of time.
So what I was trying to say is that with girls, it's not so much that you have to have the name brand. It's like showing off your body somehow, whether it's covered or not covered, showing your shape. That's what it was. And so what I was noticing in the girls is, like when I was in high school, we definitely wore Nautica and Nike and all that other stuff. But we also wore like $10 dresses from Rave, the body dresses, the body suits, and all that other stuff. So even though we were kind of boyish in school, we also like to dress up in our dresses and stuff like that. And so when I'm looking at these girls, to me, it's more about showing your shape. Crop tops, tank tops, shorts, short skirts, short dresses. That's what I'm seeing from their school district, the kids there. Well, at least at Dae's school. Dallas's school, when I used to see the kids walking out, them kids look like they were just putting clothes on and walking out the door. I don't know.
Well, I think high school is similar.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm talking about no matter where you are. Like, I feel like girls that dress like that, they just want to be seen. That's what I think. When I think of, I guess, just how I felt.
I don't know if I wanted to be seen when I was doing that. I wanted to be Aaliyah.
So who's supposed to recognize you being Aaliyah then?
No, I wasn't really trying to be Aaliyah, but I just but me and my friends liked each other's clothes. Like, oh, that's really cute. Yeah, and you like, we go out, we shop. We weren't saying, oh, the dudes are about to be. No, it was just like, I'm going to be so cute. Look, and that goes together.
But I think, so I guess when I think about it, you want to be seen. Like, yeah,
like I took time to look at.
That's what I'm saying.
My outfit.
So that's that's what I'm saying. It's no different from they want to be seen. Like, think about this. So whenever you say that, you just wanted to be seen by your friends. If a handsome guy say, "Hey, I like your outfit," you're glad you wore that outfit.
Oh yeah, everybody giving you compliments is going.
No,
to
I'm
give
referring
you
to the when I look at when I was just trying to show how, depending on where you are in your journey of a kid, like when you want to wear things or wear these things, it's to be seen by.
But I think it's important to recognize that in adolescent development, this is the time where the influence is from peers.
Correct.
Like your parents are your influencer, your main influencers up until maybe 10, 11, maybe. But once you get in that middle school, high school age, this is when it flips a switch.
Correct.
And your peers become more influential. What they like, what you like, getting that feedback that they used to want feedback from us, they want it from their friends now. So I think that that's just natural.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Well, I guess I can't disagree because, I was talking to Dallas and I said, hey, because, I was like, what would you rather have the ability to talk to people or you just not to be bothered? He was like, I don't think it would hurt to have the ability to talk to people. He was like, so would you rather talk to people or not? He said, I would rather not. So to me,
he'd rather not as his preference, but he would like to have
the
ability.
Love. So if he had the ability, I think he would do it. Like it's when you have an insecurity. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so if people already knew who Dallas was, like, I think he would care about his presentation more because like his glasses to me felt like I want to be seen. Like those aren't regular glasses.
They're not.
They're glasses that says I want a compliment.
Oh, well, I don't know. I thought that it was just
aren't
more
they like octagon or hexagon shape?
They are octagons.
So when you see somebody, you don't think like, oh, they're a nerd.
Yeah, I think that so Dallas wanted these glasses because he saw my nephew in them this summer. And so I finally found some. And I don't know. I just think that it's just him. I mean, we've talked about this before. I think it's just him trying to figure out what do I like, what don't I like. Because Dallas is now getting to the point where he's flipping the switch. I think this is showing that he is interested in what's going on around him versus just what we're doing. We're not the influencers anymore.
Yeah.
So I just think that this is just a part of what he's doing.
I got you. No, I get it. Like I'm totally on board with the peers being so influential after a certain age. And to be honest, they're influential up until you're in maybe older adult.
Well, the thing is adolescence goes up until you're maybe like 26.
Okay.
The adolescence is like people think that it's just your teenage years and then you're an adult. No, you can actually as a young adult, you're still in your adolescent years. So, you know, that's why the 20s be feeling so weird. It's like, you know, you're still learning, you're still getting it together. And once you get to the latter part of your 20s, you kind of have an idea of who you are. And then you kind of settle into it. And then you're more confident in your 30s. Well, you're more set in your 30s. It all feeds into one another. But definitely, we are still adolescents into our 20s.
You know, I was thinking how we said our kids don't have to leave after they graduate, right? And then, you know, I've been doing all these, like watching these interviews with young sports athletes, right? Mm-hmm. They live with their parents. Mm-hmm. To me, I feel like I guarantee they won't go broke. Like, because to me, when you don't mind your parents being with you at that as an adult, mm-hmm. that you have a trust in them that you feel like everything's going to be all right. But those who leave, I mean, those who are on their own, making millions of dollars, they're more likely to blow everything because they didn't come from money. Mm. So when I look at, as the kids get older, and I'm like, the adolescence aspect, if you build a relationship with your kid, it won't look odd for them to live with their parents at 21, 22, because I'm telling you, like,
I lived with my mama until I was 23.
I know, but it's still like, if a man was living with his mama at 22, 23, I don't think you would be interested in him.
I don't think I would have minded that, because I feel like we were still trying to figure out what we were even doing.
I'm saying he would have to explain, like, if he wasn't in college. Why you
still live with your mama?
If you know, I'm saying if he wasn't in college.
No, but I think that it wasn't like I wouldn't want to date him because he was living with his mother. My thing would have been, so, you know, at our age, when I got out of high school, I had friends that hurried up and got an apartment. And I didn't understand why they did that. I was still trying to stay with my mom. So many people who weren't in college that I grew up with were like racing out to be adults and get the apartment, get the car, get the job, and live this grown-up life. So I would have been more curious as to, why are you still living with your mother? And
I think everybody wants to know why somebody's living with their mom.
Yeah, but not in a sense to judge and say I wouldn't be interested in dating them. No.
It's interesting. I'll tell you this. You don't know, none of your friends would date somebody that lives with their mama.
I mean, in our 20s, though.
Yeah, look, check this out. Look, I've been a part of enough conversations to know that different people like, think about it. It wasn't the regular thing then. Like, okay, tell me this. Why do you think people were rushing to move out their house? In your opinion?
No. Well, partially, I think that there was this idea that when you're 18, you're an adult.
Yeah, I know, but but it's the same thing for the person that's living with their parent. So what's the difference? What's the difference between you and them?
I don't know. Me? Because I had 2 friends that moved out together, and one of them didn't have really a great relationship with their parent, but the other one did. I mean, a great relationship with her siblings and her parents. But she was just like, okay, next step. We moving out, and they moved out together.
Well, I'm saying this is what I'm getting at. I guess you can have an exception for anything, but majority of the people that left out of the house is because their parents said they had to get out. Mm. You can't stay up in this house without a job. You're gonna go to the military, go to college or whatnot. But I remember wanting to leave. It's because you feel like you can do better than this. Like think about it. Like, nobody wants to be with their parents if they're gonna be parents. Like, these are my rules, and you gonna. So I'm telling you, like, when somebody say you gotta get out by 18, they was rushing out. They was because they want their own. They want to make their own decisions because they don't like what they have. And check this out: our rules are real still, but the kids still feel like I'm safe. I don't have to leave out there. So that's when I think about people leaving at such an early age. Like, there are kids that what is it called when you divorce your parents and emancipate from their parents as early as 15 and 16. Yeah. So imagine where you are when you can do that. So now you're just legally emancipating at 18 because the law says you have to get out if the parents want them to get out. So it's like, how do we, I guess, curve the overall perspective of raising children without kicking them out the house and it being okay, because I guess, you know what, that's me rambling on, but Dae and Dallas will only probably attract kids that I think in my mind that along those bases. They won't, I don't think, be interested in somebody who is completely chaotic in their household. You know,
oh yeah, not chaotic in their house.
That's what I'm saying. But the chaotic
they're very
kids,
low key kids. So.
But the chaotic kids are the ones that's going to move out.
Well, in the cases of my friends, they weren't chaotic, and I guess even the way that you're saying you gonna get a job, military, you get out. I think the other thing is that I was friends with primarily girls, and parents treat girls differently at 18. Like none of my friends said those were the options.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right, because my sister didn't have to get out either, but she wanted to get out.
Yeah, I think that it's also the messaging based on, is it your daughter or is it your son?
Yeah,
for some, not for all. So I don't know.
It'll be interesting to see how our kids mature as school comes to an end, because I guess I'm just excited about that part, but I'm gonna just enjoy now, because once this is gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anybody you want to give a shout out before we get out of here?
All of the parents that sent their kids off into the wilderness.
For sure. Shout out to all the parents
out into the wild
who are giving their kids information to make the best decisions possible when they leave the house. Happy first day of school to all of you guys that's already started and that's going to soon to be starting. Be great on purpose. Boom.